We're going to start the count. Good luck.
I can't believe that in half an hour, I will be a part of the Ladomus Gaming Dynasty Empire.
Dominion. We prefer Dominion.
I honestly can't wait to be a part of your family.
There's just one more thing. And then you are officially part of the family. So at midnight, you have to play a game.
Why
It's just something we do when someone new joins the family.
a game? What game? Hide and seek? Are we really going to play that?
Well, the rules are simple. You can hide anywhere. We then try to find you
So there's no way for me to win, right?
and stay hidden till dawn.
No, thank you.
Good luck.
What the hell is this? How old is this thing?
I know you're in here.
Oh, Jesus. You shot the maid.
Does she look like she's wearing a giant white wedding dress, Emily?
Holy shit!
I had to play along so that I can get you out.
It's insane.
I think they have to kill you before sunrise. Something very bad will happen to the family.
If we don't find her and perform the ritual, we're all dead.
Found her.
God damn it! Emily!
I don't know what I'm doing!
And today's video is called Getting to Know Your Crossbow.
I forgot my gun.
Why don't you just use mine?
Mr. Ladomus, I just saw her running.
Oh my God!
Welcome your fucking family!
You're just another sacrifice.
Do you think this is a fucking game?
Yes, hide and seek. Remember?
He wanted to get married.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek. I hope that one echoing because I forgot to mute my mic, but never mind. Nothing I can do about it now. Welcome to episode 50 of my Friday night appointment with Fear. And this week we're doing Ready or Not. I don't really have to talk about the film now because you've essentially watched it all in that trailer, more or less. But anyway, it's a good film. Hello, Win Grace is here. Look, I would have guessed this movie came out last year. I feel so old. Lol. 2019, so it's only 4 years old. So only 4 years old. Right, so let's have some information about this film, shall we, before we get into it. As I said, Ready or Not, it's classed as an American film, according to Wikipedia anyway. So it's an American black comedy horror film. But it was shot in Canada, in Toronto mostly. And most of the cast are Canadian. But anyway, it stars the lovely Samara Weaving, who is Hugo Weaving's niece. So she's Australian. Adam Brody, an American. And I think everybody else in the film is Canadian, maybe apart from Mark O'Brien. Is Mark O'Brien American? No, he's Canadian as well. Never mind. Mark O'Brien, Elise Levesque, or is it Levesque? I never know how to pronounce that. Who you may know from Stargate Universe. She played Chloe, the only character I hated in Stargate Universe. Nikki Guadagne, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Henry Cherney, Andy McDowell was the big star of the film. And I forgot a blooming name. Where are we? Melanie Scrofano, who you may know from Star Trek Strange New Worlds. She plays Captain Marie Battelle in there, and there's some other people as well. Right, directed by Matt. Everybody's got weird names. Matt Bettinelli Alpin and Tyler Gillette. Written by Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murphy. Oh, he's got a normal name. It was released by Fox Searchlight, had a budget of only $6 million, and it raked in nearly $58 million at the box office, so it did really well for its budget. Right. Right, so let's get on with the film, shall we? As usual, I'm not just going to be playing the film because that would be wrong. May play the odd snippet, but we'll go through it in a series of films. I'll talk about it. I watched the film earlier on today, made no notes. I've probably forgotten everything. I tried to watch it earlier on, it was like a few minutes ago, essentially, with the audio commentary, but I ran out of time, so I didn't get through all of that. So about 30 minutes of the audio commentary that I missed. Right, so off we go. Let's full screen that baby. And I'll make myself titchy tiny. Nearly forgot that bit, didn't I? Oh, I make myself big again. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Where are we? There we go. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Why does that always fall behind for some reason? I don't know why it does that. Live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. And we're live on Twitch. Have I got any more followers? No. I don't know how do you get followers on Twitch? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea how you get followers on Twitch because I share the links, but no bugger obviously gets them. What else? Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description, as I've linked to my 2 books. They're underneath a pile of things, including my DVD, not DVD, Blu-ray of Ready or Not. And what else? I think that's it, isn't it? Right, we can get on with it now. Right, so add to stage. Look, I start calling it a stage now on StreamYard. Add to stage. Right, off we go. Just make sure it's going to come on. There we go. Sock. I'm going to say socks, searchlights. Fox searchlights. There we go. There's the Hollywood sign in the background. There we go. Right. Off we go. We're beginning with the opening titles. We've seen like board games. There we go. Le Bale's Gambit. Take a risk, gain the advantage. The film is about Samara Weaving's character called Grace. She's marrying into a super wealthy family who found their, fortune in board games. So, but they've made spoilers, by the way. There's going to be huge spoilers for this film. They've made their fortune, or their great grandfather that founded the company basically made a deal with the devil. In case you didn't know, Le Bale is an anagram of Belial, who's one of the demons of hell. But also, curiously, Le Bale means in French it means a lease agreement or just a lease. But if you're looking in Spanish, it means the dance. So all of those things could count, I suppose. But anyway, right. So we're off. Credits. Got some credits. There we go. See more board games. There we go. Le Bale's Gambit, Abracadabra. Apparently, they're designed they thought up titles for about 200 games. Board games that to send off to legal. And apparently only 8. There were only 8 of about those 200 that they're allowed to use. Just shows you how many different board games there are, doesn't it? Right, so we see 2 kids. This is a flashback, back 30 years. We see 2 kids running down an ornate hallway. By the way, this film was shot entirely on location in Toronto at, I forgot the name of it now. Let me check, because they mention it quite a lot in the audio commentary, what I saw of it. In Casa Loma, in Toronto, which is like a, what's it described as? That's it, a Gothic revival castle-style mansion. It's like, apparently it's a pretty big place. It's got a restaurant in it and escape rooms and ghost tours and all stuff like that. It sounds like a cool place. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind going, but I'm never going to go to Canada. They've also shot, mostly shot in Casa Loma and also the Parkwood Estate, also in Ontario, which is a similar like mansion area thing. And for the grounds of the mansion, the shot in Sunnybrook Park, which is in Toronto, and Clairville Conservation Area, which is also in Toronto. So there we go. Right, where were we? Right. So here we go. We're meeting Alex. I forgot the name of the characters. I'm going to have to go down and check the names of the characters. I can't bloody remember. I've said Samara Weaving plays Grace. Adam Brody Adam Brody, who you may know from well, lots of things, but I know him from Jennifer's Body. He played the baddie in Jennifer's Body, the fellow that stabbed Jennifer and turned her into a demon, basically. Adam Brody plays Daniel. Mark O'Brien plays Alex. So this is Daniel and Alex. Alex is Daniel's older brother, and Alex is the fella that marries Grace. Right, so we'll get on. We will continue. Right, so they're running down this hallway, and they come across this chap in a minute. There we go. Oh, hang on. Yeah, come across this chap who's been injured. He's been shot, look, with an arrow or something. He's asking for help, but they say, no, he's in here. And they were saying they're proud of him. They finish off the fella who was called. I will have to check. It says here somewhere. I've seen it. It says here somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. I've seen it somewhere. Never mind. Oh, is that it? Yes, it is. Charles. This is Charles, who is their Aunt Helene's husband. She's just married him, and obviously going through the ritual, and is being murdered by the rest of the family. Right. And they were saying they're very proud of Daniel. I think it was Daniel that gave him up. Did she say Daniel? Yes, Daniel. It was Daniel that told them where Charles was, and they killed him. Well, technically, I don't think they will have killed him because, spoilers, in this ritual that they do, they've got to maim him, and then kill him, you know, in a like on an altar, and you know, in a like a satanic sacrifice sort of thing. Anyway, right. So we cut to 30 years later. So that were obviously in. They say 30 years later. I'm that old. I always think of the 60s, something like that. But it's like 80s, isn't it? Now. There we go. The lovely Samara Weaving, niece of and massive eyes, niece of Hugo Weaving. And if you notice in some of the earlier shots of the film, you can just make it out there. She has like a spot on her cheek, and I think they've tried covering it up with makeup. You can also see it there on the this little thing here. But it disappears later on in the film, so I don't know if this were filmed later or early, and it's disappeared as the shoot's gone on, or if it happened, you know, as later on in the shoot. I don't know what order the stuff was shot in, you see. But they tried covering it, but it just disappeared. But it's quite prominent, and my eye kept moving to it. But anyway, she's very lovely. Anyway, and apparently she's got really long hair. I've never seen her hair. I've never seen Samara Weaving in anything else, I don't think. My son has. He says she's been. So I have, actually. He says she were in Ash vs. Evil Dead. But I can't remember who she played in that. But apparently she's got really long, lovely hair. And they were afraid they were going to have to ask her to cut it, you know, for this film. Because it's done a lot of running about and stuff. But she had them tie it up in this ornate way. And, you know, it does the job. Anyway, so she's there talking about marrying into this family. There we go. The family's richer than God. And, you know, she's probably counting her lucky stars. There you can see her smoking. I think she has 2 cigarettes in this film. This is the first. The second one's at the end. And she does actually say in the film to Alex's family that she doesn't smoke. But obviously she does. But anyway, there she is. Lovely smile. Do you know what she looks like? You can tell who they wanted, can't you, to play this character first? I mean, look at her. She looks, you know, she's Margot Robbie, isn't she? And apparently that's who they had in mind to play Grace at first, but they ended up with Samara Weaving. They must have wanted an Australian actress because Margot Robbie's Australian. Yes, what does God need with a bank account exactly? Speaking of Star Trek, it's been on my telly a lot. In the UK, we've got some a service called Sky, and they've got a movie channel section. in cable TV, cable and satellite. And they've got a movie section. At the moment, they've got a Star Trek channel, and they're playing Star Trek films. I think it's 1 to 6. No. Which ones have they shown? They've shown motion picture. They're not showing them all. I think it's 1 up to Insurrection, but they're not showing Nemesis for some reason. I don't know why. Are they showing First Contact? Yes, they're showing First Contact as well. Yeah. Yes. So they're showing all the Star Trek films apart from Nemesis, and I don't know why. Anyway, back to the film. Right. So here she's talking to Alex. She's obviously nervous about the whole wedding thing. They're looking down at the guests gathering, and he's telling her, "Don't worry about it." And I think he tries to tell her here about what's going to happen later on. She's got to go through this ritual later on with the family, and he's trying to warn her about it, but they don't get time. Because they get interrupted by Daniel. There he is, Daniel Adam Brody in his bow tie, looking like Matt Smith as Doctor Who. Oh, sorry, the Doctor. That's pretty cool. I watched that new animated thing. Oof, is it funny? I bet it's not. He's speaking about Star Trek, by the way. Anyway, right, so there he's saying to her, "One of us," because she's marrying into them, and I said they're not fighting, they're having a little, sibling scuffle, but they do love each other. He says it's not too late to flee, that's a prescient warning. I think Daniel warns that, and as we see later on, Daniel does try to help her, and also not help her, but never mind. But it happens a lot. Right, so she's talking about marrying into their empire, and he says he prefers Dominion. I think we saw that in the trailer, didn't we? By the way, I never noticed because I was busy doing other things while the trailer were playing. Did we see her shoot a shotgun? Because in the audio commentary, they mentioned she gets a shotgun later on in the film. You can see it in the poster and stuff. She's carrying a shotgun. It's actually an elephant gun, and they said in the trailer she shoots it and you hear it go off and stuff. But actually in the film she doesn't. So that the trailer were lying. But I never actually noticed in that trailer if she fired it. So as I said, I was busy checking the stream. Anyway, right, so off they go. They're going to go get married. There we go, titles, ready or not. So that's a clue as to what's going to be happening later. Here we go, there's the wedding ceremony. She looks lovely in this lovely flowing wedding dress. They all wear the same clothes all the way through because it all happens in one night. This beautiful white wedding dress that she wears gets gradually a bit like John McClane's vest in Die Hard. It gets gradually dirtier and dirtier as the film goes on. Anyway, there you can see Elise Levesque, or Levesque, how you pronounce it. Chloe in Stargate Universe. Boo! Anyway. That's Henry. How do you pronounce it? Is it Cherney or Zerny? I don't know how you pronounce it, but does she fire it in? Oh, right. I just checked. Yes, she fires it. Oh, right. So she fires it in the trailer. She doesn't actually fire it in the film because it's not real ammo that she gets in the film. Right. So the wedding's going on. So they get married. That's Aunt Helena or Helene. Obviously 30 years older from when we saw her earlier on in the film. Remember, her husband was sacrificed. And it doesn't look like she's remarried or anything. But anyway. Right, so they're taking photos and stuff. Blah, 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 blah. She's getting to know the family. Here we meet Andy McDowell. She's having a cigarette. She's married into the family. But she's getting to know her. And she's telling her, if they don't like you, F them. You're part of the family now. So there we go. Stand tall and F them. The only thing that matters is what Alex thinks, but that's not entirely true, as we see. God knows who all these people are. I don't know if they're just family friends or, extended family. I don't know, because you never see them again. They're there at the wedding. You don't see is there a reception? I don't know. I don't think there is. We don't see it because we just cut to they get married, and to later on. They just cut to later. I think it's night time now. And there we go. She's saying they're married, and so they're going to have a bit of hanky panky now. But then she looks in the mirror, and because Aunt Helene's watching them. Apparently, the secret what's the word? Secret passages all through the mansion, which is that's the art at this casa, whatever they call it. I forgot already what they call the place. Casa Loma. Apparently, there are secret passages which they actually used in this film. Anyway, so she sees her in the mirror. She says, "They're waiting for you in the music room." So then, yeah, we'll be down in a few minutes. So he tries to explain to her what they're going to do. She's got to go and play a game. To pick a card. Whenever a new family member joins them, whenever somebody gets married in the family or whatever, they have to draw a card and play whatever it says on that card. And then he says it could be backgammon, croquet, checkers, and we like people have drawn Old Maid and stuff like that, and obviously hide and seek, which is the one bad card apparently. But there we go. They've just got to play. She doesn't have to win. She's just got to play. And obviously, the odds are that you're going to pick a good card, that you just have to play a game, and that's it. But there is one bad card. And I think the only other time that card was picked was 30 years previously. Anyway. So there we go. So they're going to go down to the music room now. And here we see, this is... I don't know what room this is. I can't remember. But this is where the climax of the film happens. He's looking at a chair. There we go. Mr. LaBelle. And apparently Alex has seen Mr. LaBelle before, sitting in that chair. And spoilers, we do see him again at the end of the film. But anyway, so here she comes, heading to the music room. And that's Stevens. He's like the henchman. He kind of acts like a butler, I suppose, but he's also a henchman. He's playing the piano in gloves. Can you play a piano in gloves? I suppose so. I don't know. I'm tone deaf. Anyway, so they're getting ready to for this little ritual that they do. She thinks it's some silly little thing she's got to do, and I suppose 9 times out of 10 it's fine. But she's just unlucky, I suppose. They're getting ready. Here's 2 kids. These are the kids of what's his bloody name? Emily, played by Melanie Scrofano, and Fitch. They're the kids of Emily and Fitch. Emily is Tony. Tony's the dad. Henry Cheney. Is that how you pronounce it? Tony's the father of the family. Obviously, Andy McDowell is the mother figure. She's the mother. And got Emily, Alex, and Daniel are the kids of the children. And obviously, Fitch is Emily's husband. Who else is there? Elise Levesque plays Charity. She's Daniel's wife. And I think that's about it for the family. I think that's all we need to know. Right, off we go. So they're, obviously little obnoxious brats, but they get sent off to bed, and they've been looked after by. They've got like 3 maids that can't, for some reason, are dressed up like them dancers in the Robert Palmer videos, that them ones. But we see them soon. But they get ready to do this game. By the way, Emily has a bit of a habit. She had something on her nose, if you know what I mean. She got a bit of a habit in this film. There you go. Who thinks she'd grow up to be a Starfleet captain, eh? Anyway. Right, so it's 11:55. They've got to play this game at midnight. So off we go. Heading to the game room. You can see all the weapons lined up. Daniel's not happy about this because he obviously remembers what happened 30 years earlier. I think Alex, he knows what happened, but I think he's because he was a bit younger. So I think Daniel's the older one. I can't remember. He actually, he has vivid memories of it. Wingrace says she was the same way in Letterkenny. Was she? I've never heard of that. No idea what that is. No idea. Have a drinky. Right. So off we go. So she's looking at all the weapons and stuff arrayed around the room and she's getting ready. Anyway, so Tony brings out this box. He's talking about the tradition that's been passed down from his great-grandfather. From his great-grandfather was a merchant seaman, and but he didn't want to do that his whole life. And he came across this chap, Mr. LaBelle, who gave him this box, and he made a deal with Mr. LaBelle that if he did what Mr. LaBelle wanted, he'd see that his great grandfather's business would succeed. And he started off just making playing cards during the Civil War. Anyway, Wingrace saying it's a super popular Canadian comedy show, super Canadian. Oh, right. But it's really nice in it, aren't they? Oh, dear. Right, so there we go. So he's telling the story of the Lodomus family games. That's what they call them, Lodomus. They've got the playing cards, and so the ritual has its beginnings in playing cards. So he brings out this box, and he puts a blank card in the box. In a minute, he's waffling on here, telling the story. There we go. This box, kind of slightly reminiscent to the box from Hellraiser, isn't it? But puts a blank card in the box, and it must have a little printing press inside or something, because you open it up and then there's a game. The name of the game is suddenly on the blank card. So she has to draw the card. He's saying, Fitch is saying, when it was him, he got Old Maid, and saying, what's Old Maid? And I can't remember. I vaguely remember playing Old Maid when I was a kid. Was that the one with Mr. Pie the Baker and stuff like that? Is that Old Maid? Oh no, that's Happy Families, isn't it? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. So she's got to do this. And, she opens up the box in a minute, and then goes, it says hide and seek. Oh dear. It's the one bad card in the whole pile, or in the whole choice or whatever. But, is it random? I don't know. Or did Mr. LaBelle want her? I don't know. Because he's obviously, Mr. LaBelle is a demon or whatever. A bit like a Crossroads demon, I suppose. But anyway, so she's been chosen. They've got to sacrifice her. And obviously Alex isn't happy about it, but he's playing along for now. So so they're going to count to 100, and she's obviously thinking nothing of it. They're going to count to 100. This is to go and hide, and they've got to find her. And they said, "Well, what happens? If you find me?" So, well, the game ends. Pardon me. And he said, how do I win? And they said, well, you could stay hidden until dawn. And she went, oh, you're right. Oh, Wingrace is educating me about Old Maid now, about discarding cards, passing them to the person to your left, trying to discard all your cards. Okie dokie. The one who can't discard is stuck with the Old Maid. Oh, no, okay, very good. I can't remember. Right, so off she goes to hide. They're going to count to 100. They put a record on the hide and seek song, and that counts down from 100, and we hear it again at the end of the film. So this has a quick drink. She has a drink. She does a toast to Mr. LaBelle, obviously completely oblivious to what's really going on. But she's told the rules. You can hide anywhere inside the house. All the doors and windows have been locked. They've got security cameras, but Stevens has turned them off because they said that's part of the tradition. They can't use the security cameras to find her. But she can't leave the house because everywhere's locked. So off she goes. I'm going to count to 100 and find her. That's Stevens locking all the doors and windows and stuff and turning off the security cameras. Right, so off she goes. She's totally oblivious. She's got one of those lovely, smiles, those lovely smiles where she doesn't actually, the corners of her mouth go down when she smiles. But it's still a lovely smile, isn't it? For some reason. I don't understand it. There you go, there's the hide and seek song. Run it on an old gramophone. There the kids asleep, obnoxious little brats. Well, one of them is. Been looked after, been watched over by one of the maids. Right, so she's to go and hide. And they're arming up as the family, giving them all weapons. Elise has got, not Elise, Charity's been given a spear gun. Oh dear. And they've all been like shotguns and crossbows and stuff like that. And Aunt Helene's got an axe. And so she goes. Anyway, so she decides to hide in the dumbwaiter. So she climbs in the dumbwaiter. There she goes. She hides in there, thinking it's all fun and games. And then so they're off now. They're waiting for the, ready or not, here they come to play on the record player. So there they're all ready. Look. There you go. Ready or not, here I come. So the game is afoot. Watson. They're. I forgot her name already. I know it's Andy McDowell, but I forgot the name of the character already. Oh dear. Becky. Right. Becky. She's got a bow and arrow. And they're all pretty useless with the weapons, by the way, because they're like ditzy, rich American people, and they don't do this often. Last time was 30 years earlier. So, it's not as if they're proficient at this sort of thing, but they just think they've got to do it. And we learn that they believe that if they don't do it, something terrible will befall the family. And they talk about stuff that's happened to other families that have made deals with Le Bail, that they've all died mysteriously if they haven't followed the rules. So they think the same is going to happen to them. Right, so there she's in the dumbwaiter. So like thinking it's a ridiculous situation. Alex isn't taking part because obviously she's his wife, so they've locked him in a room. But he knows the secret ways. There you go. He knows the secret doors to the passages and stuff. So he gets out. So anyway, she's had enough. Oh, they're still looking round. Looking round. Oh, that's a little nod to later on. You've got a bear with a goat in its mouth. But we see more goats later on. That's a little what's the word? A setup for later on. I'm not thinking of that, but anyway. Right, so wow, that's who is it now? Charities goes into the room, asking if Alex wants some company, and she notices he's gone. Is it Chekhov's goat? Well, sort of, not really. We just see some goats later on. Right, so they're all out hunting her. Oh, and Fitch decides he wants to go to the loo, so he goes to the loo. By the way, he did mention earlier, how the hell do I work a crossbow? And we see him, he's sat on the toilet, on his using his phone and looking on YouTube for instructions how to use a crossbow. Anyway, she thinks that this is ridiculous. I've had enough, so she gets out of the dumbwaiter and she gets a dress coat, but it's like a cheap scare, a dress is caught, but it doesn't give it away. Then this maid, I can't remember the names of the maids. This one is called, hang on, it tells us down here somewhere. This is Clara. The three maids, Clara, Tina, and Dora. Right, just thought we'd get that one. And Clara's played, by the way, by this young woman called, it's spelled Hanneke, Hanneke, Talbot. But in the audio commentary, they're always talking about it, and it must be pronounced Hank. So that's how they pronounce it anyway, Hank. Unless that's just short for it, I don't know. But anyway, that's Clara. So She's obviously nodded off. She wakes up. She sees one of the kids has gone. Georgie, he's buggered off. He comes back later. It's not Georgie from It, by the way. He's not going to get his arm ripped off, but maybe he should do the little get. But we'll get to that later. By the way, you see these candelabras that are in the film? You see them all over the house. They only had 5. They only had 5 of these candelabras, and they just kept moving them about. Anyway, right. So she's sneaking about, still thinking it's all fun and games. And Alex puts his hand around her and drags her away. Says, "Look, I've got to get you out of here." But they hear Clara coming, so they hide behind the bed. She's looking for Georgie, and then there you go. She's looking, and then you hear a gunshot. Hang on, in a minute, you hear a gunshot, and Clara falls to the floor, and then you hear Emily say, "Daddy, I did it, look," and she's shot. She shot Clara in the face because she's an idiot. And they come around and they say, "Does she look like she's wearing a massive white wedding dress?" You know, because Emily keeps killing the wrong people in this film. So like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're my favourite. There you go. Does she look like she's wearing a giant white wedding dress, Emily? So Emily starts freaking out a bit. By the way, I think that's an actual tattoo that Samara Weaving's got, and people kept saying, "Why she got a tattoo of a feather?" But apparently, it's a chili pepper. Maybe she's into the red hot chili peppers, something I don't know, or maybe it has some other meaning. But anyway, I think a thumbnail looks okay there, doesn't it? Not too bad. Apparently, they got a note from Fox Searchlights, that her nails were all done in. But apparently, while she were in the dumbwaiter, so that must have been filmed before this, I don't know, but she were biting the nails. It showed her biting the nails, and that's why her nail polish were all done in, and Searchlight made a note about it that her nails needed redoing. Anyway, so it's obviously she's seen somebody's died now, so they're still hiding behind the bed. So they've got to get rid. The rest of the family come, so they've got to get rid of Clara's body. So she's freaking out now, but they've got to get her out of there. Emily takes a bit more coke to calm herself down. But so they go into one of the secret passages, and she's got Alex has got Grace's comfy shoes, so she puts on her trainers, and he tells her to meet him in the kitchen. And apparently, in this corridor, which is an actual secret corridor in Casa Lomas, on these bricks, you can't really make it out. Maybe you can if they do a 4K version, you'll be able to make it out. But apparently, every brick is covered with people's signatures, and these two, Samara Weaving and Mark O'Brien, put their signatures on the brick. But apparently, every brick is covered with people's signatures. It must be a touristy thing. And anyway, and they're talking away, and Fitch can hear. Sat on the toilet. There he goes. He's watching a YouTube video about how to shoot a crossbow. These two are the writers, by the way, the writers of the film. So anyway, he tells her to meet him in the kitchen, and he's going to try and get her out. He's going to go to the security room and unlock the doors and windows so they can get out. He's to meet her in the kitchen. But trouble is, he doesn't tell her which door to take. He says, "Go down here and you'll get to the kitchen." And when she gets there, there's 2 doors. Tell her which door to take. So anyway, off they go. By the way, she's saying to him, "Why would you do this to me? Why would you go along with this? Why we didn't have to come here, do this ritual. We could have eloped and all that. We didn't have to do this." And for some reason, he says, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. He says, "We have to do this ritual." Maybe it's because if they didn't, he wouldn't get the family's money or whatever. Maybe he don't want to lose his what's the phrase? His trust fund. Maybe he don't want to leave his trust fund. Anyway, People who don't take their tie off in situations like this are just bad people. They still got your tie on. I wasn't paying attention. Oh dear. This is not a bow tie. I've never understood bow ties, to be honest. But anyway. But ties, long ties, like neckties, they're just symbols, aren't they, of not slavery, but indentured servitude, kind of slavery, isn't it? It's a Masonic thing, isn't it? You know, the rope around the neck. But anyway, whatever. Right, so she's got to go off to the kitchen. He's heading to the security room. She keeps tripping over her dress, so she tears it to make it shorter. So she looks like a badass in a wedding dress now. Kind of a bit like in which one was it now? Was it Rec 3? Was it Rec 2 or Rec 3? Rec 3, wasn't it? Where the main character in that was in a wedding dress, wasn't she? She's to tear it. Right, so they're out still looking for her. Still haven't got rid of Clara. Oh, that's it. She got to the end of the corridor and she didn't know it. There were two doors, one going right, one going left. She didn't know which one to take. So she took the left one and she just walks out into this corridor where them lot are there. And they all just, they're saying she could be anywhere. And she just walks out in front of them and they just stare at each other. I thought there was somebody else standing there. Then it's his reflection, isn't it? Just realised. And Adam Brody's character just says, Daniel just says, I found her. Anyway, so the drop Clara, which is actually a different, it's actually a stunt Clara, is that? But the dropper. And then Emily appears, shooting wildly with a gun, misses every shot, and allows Grace to get past her. And she's all ditzy and stuff there. The berating and saying, Emily, aim for the centre of gravity. She says, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's funny, is that? So anyway, she's got away. She just shot, wild, she didn't hit anything. She hit glass and wood and everything apart from something living. She tries to use the phone to call for help. Obviously, she can't get out. The phones are dead. So she's in this room wondering. And then Daniel just walks in and he tells her, he says, I'm going to have to tell him that, that you're here. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the one to give you up. You just come in for a drink and there's a bottle of, what they call it, turkey thing. What I don't know what they call it. A bottle of that on the table. Anyway, says I'll give you a 10 count. So she runs off again. She says, you can help me, but he don't want to be the one to serve her up to them. So he gives her a 10 counts. Off she goes again. Then he calls them, says she's in here. They said, oh, so she got away from you. I said, well, what can I say? And she's been evil. Being evil is Elise, because she's were evil in Stargate Universe, wasn't she? Well, I think she was. Oh, dear. Poor Eli. But he loved her, didn't he, did Eli in Stargate Universe? But, she wanted the hot soldier, didn't she, rather than Eli? God, I hated her. Right, so they're all saying, oh, I thought she were in here, but no, she's got away. So, God damn it. Right, so they have a little family meeting in here now. She's lost her gun, or she's left her gun out there, or whatever. And so Fitch gives her his crossbow. They go, I forgot my gun. He was an ass too, the soldier, not Eli. Yes, he was. Yes, Lieutenant. Him, yeah, he was a bit of, he was a good soldier, wasn't he? But bit of a knob. But never mind. Where were we? Right. Yeah, so he gives her the crossbow, and then another one of the maids comes running in. I can't remember which one. It tells us in a minute. Tina. There we go. Tina comes in. Don't know why I'm telling you the names. Tina comes in, there we go. And Emily kills her as well with a crossbow bolt to the mouth. So she's like, oh, God, this keeps happening to me. So Fitch takes Emily away to calm her down. Not quite dead is Tina. She keeps gurgling as Aunt Helena's trying to speak. So Aunt Helena finishes her off with the axe. So anyway, Tony's thinking, she's picking us off one by one. We're not going to survive the night. But she hasn't done anything yet, has she? It's just been Emily that's killing everybody. But anyway. So then, there you go. Andy McDowell suggests they use the security cameras. And said, well, no, that's not tradition. I said, well, just because the great-grandfather didn't have security cameras, they weren't invented then. So maybe they should just, move with the time. So they all agree that they should do that. Anyway, so that's what they're going to do. Right, so Grace is still trying to find a way out. And she goes into the game room. She finds the elephant gun, picks up a bandolier, wraps it round her. And she said, in the audio commentary, she says the bandolier were heavier than the gun. So the gun were really heavy, but the bandolier were even heavier. You'd think it'd be like a plastic one or something, wouldn't you? But it must be a real one. So there he is trying to turn on the computer stuff. Right, she's found the kitchen finally. As you can see there, the door's locked. You see these little red lights on the doors and windows, obviously to show that they're locked. And she's saying, come on, Alex. And then as she's waiting, we hear whistling, the 1812 overture, and this is Stevens coming in. He's going to make himself a cup of tea, so she hides. Apparently we're filmed in the actual kitchen of, I think, the park. There's a Parkwood. Yeah, Parkwood Estate. It was filmed in the actual kitchen of that house. Which, apart from the centre part that she's hiding behind, that's like a prop that they put in there. But the actual kitchen is a real kitchen. There's only one set in this entire film, and we get to that later. Everything else is on location. And it also, as well, in the Casa Lomas set, which is like the main part of the house with all the ornate paneling and stuff, the corridors and the walk up and down. It would actually, they didn't close the place down while they were filming. So while they were filming, people would walk out of the restaurant and stuff, and they'd have to, do another take and stuff like that. Which is a bit daft, in it, but never mind. I suppose it makes for a fun audio commentary. Right, so we managed just to get the security cameras off and the doors unlocked. She's trying to load up, by the way. She tries to load up the gun. She'd found it wasn't loaded. She tried to shoot the gun at the door lock, and it just clicked. So she opens the gun while she's hiding. Obviously, the click alerts Stevens, but he doesn't find her. She keeps out of his way, and then she's putting the shells in. Look at the size of them; they're massive. She puts those in, and alerts him again when she closes it. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Wingrace. Turn on the gas stove and blow out the flame. Well, yeah. I don't want to blow up somebody else's kitchen yet, do they? Spoilers, the house does end up burning down at the end. Anyway. Right, so she loads the gun, and he unlocks the doors, and she comes out, and she says, open the doors, get out of the way, whatever. And he says, no. I go, afraid I can't do that. And she's prepared to shoot him. She pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. And then he says the ammunition is display only. So, she whacks him with the. Here we go. So, we missed it. I've gone too far. There we go. Takes the gun off her. So she whacks him with a teapot with the boiling hot water inside. So then she legs it. Then Alex is found by his dad and Daniel, and him and his dad have a little altercation. Alex is asking Daniel for help. You know, we've got to save her. But then he gets knocked out. Tony knocks out his son. So they pick him up, go and tie him up. They handcuff him to a bed. Right, so she's going to hide again. She thinks, I'll hide in the dumbwaiter again. So she opens up, and there's the last of the three maids. Old maids, maybe not. They're not really, are they? Who's this one? Dora. This one's Dora. And she's hiding. So she doesn't understand what's going on. I don't know. Has she seen what's happened? I don't know. Maybe she has. I don't know. Maybe she's heard that Tina and Clara have been killed, so she's hiding in the dumbwaiter. But then she says she's here. She calls and says she's here, and then she accidentally activates the dumbwaiter. Let's go back a bit. She activates the dumbwaiter. There you go. Accidentally, and there we go. See all the gears. You know what gears they are? They're not the gears of the dumbwaiter. It's baffling. Those are actually the gears of Big Ben, in London, in the Queen Elizabeth Tower it's in now, the big clock. Big Ben's actually the bell, isn't it? But yes, the gears from the clock of Big Ben. Apparently the director said they searched for ages to find some good gear footage. And they found the footage of the gears of Big Ben, or the clock. So there you go. And she gets crushed by the dumbwaiter as it rises up and she's trapped in the door. Not super gory, she don't get her head chopped off or anything. She's just crushed. So that's very sad for her anyway. But Grace can't hang about. She's got to go and save herself. There we see what's up with Stevens. He's all scalded on the side of his face. I'm afraid the Dora has been crushed, sir. So they're thinking, crikey, bloody hell, what's going on? All right, so there she goes. She's because all the doors and windows are unlocked now, aren't they? So she can. She's got out. There they've tied him, handcuffed him to a bed. So he's trying to use the handcuffs to, saw through the bed frame. Here she's listening. She's outside. She's listening about what's been going on. But Helene's reminding them of the tradition and that Alex has got to be reminded why he's a member of that family and all that. Because, she's evil, isn't she? You can tell, can't you? She looks evil. Apparently, she's lovely. In the audio commentary, all the members of the cast were lovely. But they would say that, wouldn't they? Right, so anyway, here we go. There's Fitch. He's on his phone. He's actually texting his friend. His friend sent him a message. His friend's called Kip. There you go. He's looking up pacts with the devil, real. So obviously, maybe he doesn't believe it's true either. What's been going on, but he's seen people getting killed now. Remember when he joined the family, all he had to do was play old maid. But then he's Kip. So what's happening here? I've no idea what this means. Butterscotch stallion, no idea. Path is a description from the script later on of something that happens at the end. We'll get to that. And it says, "What up, dog?" It goes, "Not much, family shit." And then as he's typing that, we see that. And that's Grace. Now apparently, that was a stunt, Grace. It just looks like it could have been a dummy, couldn't it, for all we know? But it was actually a stunt person jumping down. And then Samara Weaving gets up, what they call it, a cowboy thing. So I can't remember what they call the trick, where the switch actors. But you couldn't tell, could you? It could have been a dummy that they threw down. So she's just thrown herself out from the second story. There she gets up. And she's remembering what they've been through. But then because she's at the place where the wedding happened, but she's heading out into the estate now. Right, she finds the stables. Except there's goats in the stables. Remember, I mentioned goats. Hang on. Oh dear. I just Googled butterscotch stallion. I wish I hadn't. Lol. All right, I'll not do it then. It's not like that, is it? Another thing, I've never Googled, but I hear it keeping it being mentioned. Was it 2 girls, 1 cup? I've never Googled that either. Apparently, you shouldn't. It's not something you shouldn't Google. But anyway, I've never Googled it. I daren't. But right, so she ends up in this. It's like a stables, but it's full of goats, as we can see. And apparently, they sacrifice these goats, for their, satanic rituals. Right, so, and that thing there is the entrance to the goat pit, which, as I said, is the only set that's built. Not that's just that, but they actually built a set. Blue waffle as well. Yes, another one I've heard of that I've never looked up. and Tub Girl are all things not to Google if asked. All right. I've not heard of Tub Girl, but I've heard of the first 2. Never looked them up. I daren't. I don't want that in my history. Because I was delete your history, but it's saved somewhere, isn't it? Right, so she's hiding in the stables, but then we see what's happened to Georgie. There we go. We see Georgie's there, and he's got a gun. I think it's his mother's gun, Emily's gun that she lost. He's got that. Anyway, he shoots at her and blows a hole in her hand, as we see there. Bit like Taxi Driver, but different. So there you go. She's got a hole in her hand now, but luckily she's Australian, so she's tough. Hang on. See, Wingrace is telling me all these things that I've not to look up. Used to be Meat Spin as well, but don't know if that website exists anymore. Don't know. Never heard of that one. I'm not looking that up either. Anyway, I don't know. Right, so she's got a hole in the hand now, and so she punches the kid. Hang on. Knocks out the kid. Apparently in cinemas, because we're saying in the audio commentary, everybody cheers when she knocks out the kid, which is fair enough. And then she goes down to check on him. A goat appears or something. Hang on, so I've got to. I think she goes down to. There we go. Oh, that she picks up the torch and a goat appears. Apparently, they tried that with a fake goat, like a goat's head on a stick or whatever, just for the effect. And it apparently was hilariously bad. So in the end, they just used the real goat. Anyway, it scares her enough, and she falls back, and she falls into the goat pit. And she lands on all these rotting carcasses of goats that they've used in, the sacrifices and stuff. Why they've got a goat pit, I don't know. Why couldn't they have? I can just burn them or whatever, or have a furnace. I mean, they're rich enough, aren't they? I don't know, but it's not. There's not just goats down there, as we see. There you go. As she turns around, we see. Hang on, see, I've gone too far. Showers. We see what happened to. There he is. That's poor. Hang on, it's going to show us. There we go. There he is. I forgot his name already. Hey, come on. Helen's husband. Where is he? Charles, that's it. That's what happened to Charles 30 years ago. They dumped him down there. And with the goats. So she screams. She actually throws up pea green soup, apparently. And she said it actually tasted lovely in the audio commentary. But, right, so she's got to climb up this ladder. Remember, she's got a hole in her hand, by the way. Because you're going to see a nail in a minute. It's not as annoying for me because this actually is leading to something, that doesn't make me go, "You're stupid. Put some shoes on." I'm talking about A Quiet Place with Chekhov's nail in the steps. But anyway, she's just climbing up here. Go on, show us the nail. The ladder's break, and she's hanging on with one hand. See this nail. Is he going to show us it? Come on, show us the nail. It does like a shot of it where you see what she's got to get past in a minute. By the way, this is the only set. As I said, they only made one set for this film. And this is the set. The goat pit is the only set. And it's not actually a pit. They actually filmed it in the attic part of where the rest of the goats are. So it's actually, it was built in the attic, sort of like down onto the second floor of that area, that stables. So she fell from the attic to the second floor. Or as we'd call it in the UK, the first floor, because we're mental. We have a ground floor, first floor, second floor. That's how we do it. I don't know why. And when we go on at Americans, don't we, about putting the month first and stuff like that. Oh dear. I forgot what I'm doing now. Oh, I'm waiting for this bloody nail to appear, aren't we? Come on, show us the nail. Oh, never mind. Find it. Right, show us the nail. Right, she's looking up. Looking up. There we go. That's all I wanted to show you with that nail. Right, so you're thinking, you're watching it now, thinking, she's got a hole in her hand. I wonder where that nail's gonna go. Yes. Right, so she climbs up, the ladder breaks, she's hanging on with one hand. In the audio commentary was saying, look how strong I am. Holding myself up with one hand. Apparently she's on wires. But she pulls herself up and she's to use her injured hand. Obviously that, I mean, it'll help really, won't it? I mean, she'll get more purchase, won't she? But obviously her hand, it goes through, the nail goes through the hole in her hand. There we are. But it, obviously it helps her pull herself up, doesn't it? So she climbs out and she tears her sleeve off, wraps it round her hand. There you go. What she thinks of Georgie. Right, so got a name already. Charity. Charity's aiming the spear gun at Grace and misses, obviously. There's Stephen's cleaning up because he's the butler. Right, she's running. She gets to the fence at the edge of the estate, and there you go. She breaks one of the. Luckily, she just finds one of the bars that's rotted away. Thank goodness, and she breaks it off, and she can just squeeze through. Cars drive by the way. Oh, and she's too far. Right, there we go. She squeezes through the hole, and but obviously this. There you go. That's cut it into her back, so she's being put through the ringer. This poor Grace, isn't she? But, anyway. So, by the way, all these scenes in the in the audio commentary, Samara Weaving was saying, "Tell me when it's over. I hate watching this bit." With the same with the nail through her hand, which was a CG nail, by the way. It wasn't actually there. So she gets through anyway with an injury on her back, and then a car stops. There you go, stops for her, and then this fella just says, "Get out of the road," and drives off. What a knob! There you go. Says, "What's wrong with you?" Right, so she's to go running off again. Now Stevens is driving about, whistling away. He tells them over the phone he's going to find her. So they're all waiting now. There you go. Do you realise that if she lives till dawn, there we go. Come on, tell us that we're all gonna die. So that's why they're so desperate for her not to survive, because they think they're all gonna die. Right. Oh, there we go. That's what it says. Remember what happened to the Van Horns? Obviously, they made a deal with LaBelle as well. Right. Anyway, so they're obviously they're worrying about what's going to happen. They send off Daniel and Emily to clean up. Right, so she's hiding. She's hiding from Stevens in his car. He's trying to saw his way through the bed end. I mean, you wouldn't really be able to do. I mean, it's handcuffs, isn't it? It's not a bloody hacksaw, is it? you'd probably just cut through your own wrists first, wouldn't you? You know, with the edge of with using the pressure. Never mind. Right, she's saying, why did she have to pull hide and seek? The one bad card. But anyway. While we're looking at, I can't remember this bit now. Oh yes, yes, they're putting them all down in the goat pit. That's it. Yeah, that's right. That's what's happening. That's what they were told to do. Put Clara and Tina and Dora down into the goat pit. So that's what they're doing there. They find Georgie. Says he shot her. So anyways, he gets caught by Stevens. So he topples him and gets in the car. Overpowers him. Gets in the car, drives off. Had to run him over, but she doesn't. Uses these flashy cars. They have these. They can contact somebody from the car. That can control the car. Essentially, it must be like a Mercedes or something. I don't know what the hell it is. There you go. Good evening. This is Justin. She tells him some people are trying to kill me. Call the police. There you go. And he says, okay. But then he says it's been reported stolen. Don't know how. I mean, she's only just taken it, hasn't she? Unless Stevens has just immediately woken up and done it. Anyway, but we don't know how long she's been driving for. She can't have been driving that long, though. And he says it's been reported stolen, so I'm going to have to disable the car, so the car cuts out. So she's not happy about that. And then Stevens appears and drags her out of the car. There we go, smashes the window. It's nice to see, actually, like a car window smashing like it actually would. Not into, like, just, shattered glass. You know what I mean? Like glass that you can pick up and cut somebody with. That's usually happens in films, isn't it? Right, and he shoots her with it's not actual, well, it is a gun, but it's a dart gun. And there we go, knocks her unconscious. So he bundles her in the back. What's happening here? Oh, she's dreaming. Bundles her in the back and she wakes up and is driving her back to the house, listening to his music. So he can't hear her wake up. She's moving about. But they're watching. They're talking to him. They're watching him through must have a camera in the car or whatever. And they can see she's waking up. And they're behind you. And anyway, there you go. And she boots him, kicks him in the head a couple of times, and he causes the car to crash. And it rolls over several times. In the film, they actually put it on a rotating thing. I don't know. They describe it as a rotisserie. Is that a gimbal, I suppose you'd call it, whatever. I don't know. But they rolled it over. And she said, it was great fun. I was going, wee. And actually filmed it over a few days. But why did it take so long? But Samara Weaving said, it was lots of fun, but poor old fellow that played Stevens, whose name I can't remember, John Ralston. If he's related to Mark Ralston. Let's have a look. Is he? It just says he's a Canadian actor. Just bear with me. I mean, he's probably not. No, he's just got the same name. Not everybody's related, Not like Star Wars. Anyway, but apparently he got a little queasy with all the rolling about. Anyway, so she gets out of the car. I don't know if is that the last we see of Ralston. I can't actually remember. We'll see, won't we? So she gets out of the car, but then she comes across Daniel. Daniel's there. There you go, with a shotgun, whatever. And Daniel's obviously having doubts, but not enough doubts because Daniel's actually seen that Tony, his dad, is actually lurking behind a tree. He knocks her out. He just whacks her with. Oh, it is a rifle. It's not a shotgun. So he knocks her out with the butt of the shotgun. And I don't know why he knocked her out. They're going to have to carry her now, aren't they? Because they can't put her in the car. It's upside down. But could have just marched her back to the the house, couldn't they? But the point of a gun. But now they've got to carry her. Anyway, so that's what they're going to do. Meanwhile, forgot her name again. Becky. Becky is talking to her son Alex and saying, all she wanted was the best for him and stuff. She's been trying to be the good mother and that, and why did he leave him and all that jazz. He's saying if she dies, he'll kill her. He says, well, I'm dead either way then. Anyway, so there we go. Obviously, he's still on Grace's side, obviously, being her husband. Some establishing shots of their house, all quiet. Here we're learning about what's going to go on now. She's telling her kids about their very special friend, Mr. LaBelle. As we can see, she's put on some different clothes. They've got the ritual cloaks that they're putting on. Because the whole family's got to watch this now. So they're going to the no, it must be the game room. That I thought it was in a different room, but never mind. That's the chair of Mr. LaBelle, and they're going to put Grace on the sacrificial table. There he does the ritual. I don't know what he's drinking there. Is it blood or is it just wine? I've no idea. But he says some ludicrous words. I think he's speaking in Latin, I think. And it's been described as LaVeyan Satanism, Anton LaVey and all that, the stuff he says, particularly one of the words that he uses. It might show it in the subtitles, I don't know. I can't remember what it was. Shammerfair or something like that. But apparently that's from, LaVeyan Satanism, which is that equivalent of hallelujah. Apparently. But anyway, so there we go on a pentacle, or pentangle, whatever you pronounce it. So they're all getting ready with that. Offering off flesh and blood. Hail! And then they all start clutching their guts as to this is about to say, Hail Satan, and stab her with a sacrificial dagger. They'll start clutching the guts. And it turns out that Daniel has poisoned them with hydrochloric acid. But it says he just used a little bit. That'll just, give them, what does he say? I can't remember what he says about it. It'll make them shit funny for a week or so, but not enough to kill them. So while they're clutching at their, insides, he frees. There we go. He frees Grace. So he's trying to help her now. He wants her to escape because there you go. That's what he's saying. All I knew was at some point, someone had to burn it all down, but he didn't think it'd be him. But then Charity's there, and she shoots him. There you go. Here, gunshot. Oh dear. So Daniel's dying now. I think she shot him in the neck. I think. There we go. So he's dying. Let's go back again. Obviously, Grace got away. Hang on, I'm going to show it. Too far. There you go. She gets the. There you go. She shoots. Tries to shoot again. There's Charity, but no bullets left. So she whacks her. There's Grace, knocks out Charity, and then she goes down to Daniel. Daniel's dying. So tells her to go. So she says thank you. Then she comes across Tony. So Tony gets a whack around the head. Says he's going to kill her. So she just whacks him. And anyway, there you go. Alex has finally escaped. He's finally sawn through the bedhead. Got rid of his handcuffs. I don't know how he's got rid of his handcuffs. Maybe it showed it. I can't remember. But somehow it must have found a key. Right. So he's found the body of his brother. So he's obviously going to be upset now. He's going to find another body soon. This is like a turning point. But anyway, Becky has found. Oh, there you go. That's Alex and Daniel. But, brotherly love and all that. But Becky and that's not that's not them, is it? Stunt people. Becky and Grace are going to have a bit of a fracas. And Becky had said she actually liked her. She actually liked Grace, and she didn't want this to happen to her. And as it said there, she thought she was going to be the next her, as the head of the family, so to speak. Pardon me, the matriarch. But there you go. She's saying you don't deserve a family. Oh, excuse me. But Grace knocks her out. I think she gets the the box, Mr. LaBelle's box that had the card in it. She grabs hold of that and whacks her with that, and then whacks her repeatedly, and says, "I don't want to be part of your family." She's like bashing her head in, essentially, killing Becky. Just as Alex arrives, there we go. He's just watched her murder his mother, so that doesn't go down well. And what happens next? So he takes her. He grabs her now. He's holding her as though he's going to embrace her, but he's actually holding her tight. Says, "You're hurting me," and he actually calls everybody. Says she's in here. We see that Becky's dead. So they drag her back into the other room. Handle's been knocked over, so the house starts burning now. All that wood paneling, you see. Anyway, so they're going to try again with this this ritual. So they try again. They're holding her down. Alex this time is going to be the one to. That's the word. Shem Hammer Thrash. Oh, me saying that ain't going to summon a demon. Oh dear. Yes, exactly. I mean, he's still not even loosened his tie. That's foreshadowing, isn't it? That he's evil. Yes, you're right. I'm going to look for that in every film now. If the baddie's got a well-tied tie. Anyway, so they're doing all this, saying the magic word. The kids watching. There we go. Hail Satan. Just like at the end of Rosemary's Baby, isn't it? And he brings the knife up, and just as he brings it down, she moves. And so the knife just goes into her shoulder or something, or somewhere around there. But then they noticed a sliver of light through the window. We see it's daytime, dawn has happened. So they're too late. They're all like, no, what's going to happen? And then nothing happens. Nothing happens. There you go. I knew it. We're a load of rubbish. So, well, what happens now? And then Aunt Helene says, well, the girl still dies. There you go. There we go. But then Aunt Helene explodes in a gush of blood. And just as I was watching this earlier, my son came down, Aidan came down. And just as this bit were happening, he went, what are you watching? And then all the others start exploding. The record starts playing now. It's all warped because of the heat from the fires and stuff that's happening. So it's the countdown from 100. And then all the rest of the family start blowing up. They start exploding. She going to go next. Go on, Chloe. Go on, I'll see Chloe blow up. There we go. That's what we want, isn't it? By the way, make sure we're still going. Make sure we're still going. Yeah. And yeah. Make sure there's no messages or chats on Rumble and on Twitch. No Archmage Frey tonight. I wonder where he is. Anyway, the rest of the family's starting to blow up. It ends up just being Grace and Alex left. And he tries to talk her out of it. Win Grace, we're back to Stargate Universe now. I wish Chloe's dad hadn't died. Yes, it was good was Senator, whatever his name was. Yes, he sacrificed himself, didn't he, for the rest? Yeah, anyway. So he wants, he's asking her to, forgive him and all that, and they're still married, and they can still, have a life. And then he blows up. Oh, yeah, she says, I want a divorce. By the way, the song in the back is playing in the background and it counting down. It says, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. There we go. But basically, is just all you hear is just, and they're all gone. Anyway, so there you go. She's covered in blood and entrails and stuff. And there we see, finally see Mr. Belial as the flames rise. There you go. There he is. Not Belial, LaBelle. And he nods at her. Sorry, it's like a, well played, my dear. And because he's got all their souls now, hasn't he? Rather than just having her soul, he's got a plethora of souls, I suppose. So he gives her a nod and disappears. Now, does she inherit their fortune now? Because she's the last member of the family left, didn't she? So does she inherit the I forgot the name of the company, lad, whatever it's got, LD. It said on the games, didn't it? Does she inherit all that fortune now? Anyway, she picks up Becky's cigarette box and heads out and sits down on the steps. Look at her covered in blood. Beautiful white wedding dress that we saw at the beginning is now a crimson mask. The house burns behind them. I'm presuming all that's CG. I think this is Parkwood, this. Not Casa Lomas or whatever the hell it's called. I think this is the Parkwood estate. She's sitting down there having a cigarette. And then we hear sirens and stuff. Because remember, Justin in the car, that fella, he had actually called the police. So they've been on the way for a while. So they arrive. Oh, they've gone too far. And there we go. Officer, you don't see him, you see him off screen. What happened to you? And she replies, in-laws. There we go. Her eyes are massive, aren't they? And there we go. That's the end of the film. That's the end of the film. A nice day for a white wedding, yeah. It's a nice day to start again. Ding, 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 ding. Bit of Steve Stevens on guitar as well. Hey. So there we go. So that's the end of the film. That's it. I really enjoy Ready or Not. It's a fun film. It's a fun, slightly comedic. I won't call it a comedy. My son was saying earlier on, is it a comedy? And I said, well, I suppose it's funny in places, but I wouldn't class it as a comedy. Straight out comedy. It's a horror film with funny bits in it, I suppose. But I suppose like American Werewolf in London, that's like a horror film with funny bits in, isn't it? So, but anyway, so it's a really good film. I really enjoy it. Like I said, when I first saw it, I knew nothing about the film. Well, apart from roughly what it were about. I put it on, and pleasantly surprised. It's great when that happens, isn't it? When a film that you don't know is going to be good turns out to be really, really good. It's well worth a watch. So we'll leave it there. I'll be back on Sunday with my news stream, if I can be bothered. I might put a link in the news stream in the chat. I might put a link, to if anybody wants to join in the news stream, on camera or not, just in voice, whatever. I might do that. I've done it before and nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever, popped in, but never mind. I might do that on Sunday. Anyway, and on Monday, Magnificent Mondays, next week is Flash, Savior of the Universe. Bear with me. Great film. I love Flash Gordon. And speaking of things you shouldn't look up on the internet, remember Flesh Gordon? That were all the rage when I were at school. Another film I've never seen. But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Winnie Grace, for joining in. I'll go and see if I can find that Star Trek cartoon now. I do not. All right. Dear. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So, as I said, thanks, Winnie Grace, for joining in. With no Joshua Kanapke, had we, this week? And no DJ dropped in. I didn't think so, anyway. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, hang on. I posted the link in Discord to rile up the people. All right. I'll check that out. I'll do it now before we go, so I can have a look. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm sweating. I bet all light shining off. Oh. Now then, how far back do I go? How far back do I go? Hey. We come in peace, shoot to kill. Hey. The creator, that looks good. I'm looking forward to that. Sorry, I'm just reading the Discord, by the way, of the podcast. If anybody's wondering, it's called Cat Something or Other. Oh, right, okay. Trouble with the there we go. Skin the Cat. Oh, there we go. I'll follow that link and check that out later. How long does it go on for? Let's have a look. Let's just click on it. Yes, I'm leaving Discord. Yes, I am. Oh, 3 minutes 48. All right, so it's quite short, but not too short. Right, I'll check that out later. By the way, if anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's little Star Trek, very short treks that they're doing on the Star Trek on YouTube, on the Star Trek channel, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Trek the Animated Series. But that's nothing to do with this. So anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. So thanks again, Wingrace. Thanks, for joining in and all that. And thanks everybody else who's watched. And wherever you are, don't have nightmares. You won't have nightmares about Ready or Not. It's not even scary, is it? It's just a bit of fun. But wherever you are, don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll say I haven't got my stuff ready. I'm telling you, useless, aren't I? There we go. Going now. Bye.